Sorry, my bad. I thought I was on here the whole time. Well, it's still raining, so I'm just building out some concept ideas to make sure that my plan's going to fit right. This is my van. I did the same thing yesterday. I'm doing something different today. It's not really a simulator, it's a van designer. It gives you actual plans on how you want to set your van up before you do it. It gives you measurements. I'm trying to find the same bed that I got yesterday with the. It's got like the space open under it. I don't know where it went. Wasn't these they're too big? What the hell, dude? This one? See how big this one is. God damn, this thing. Holy shit. This would be a queen size bed in my van. It would just be the whole van. That's a queen. God damn, dude. Where the hell is. Let me try this one. I'm looking for the one that's got like the little. No, that's not it. Maybe delete. Maybe this one. It's just a sleeping bag. No, it's this one might be it. I gotta place it real quick. Yeah, this is it. All right, cool. With everything under it. All right, cool. All right. Do a hammock. I would probably fall out of it all night. All right, let me try counters. What do they have the under? I will agree. This is a very 2010 virtual 3D blueprint designer thing, but it's like the only one that they have until somebody develops something way better. It's still good. It still works. It gives you dimensions. This van template is actually the same exact specs of my van. So it gives you an idea of where you want to place everything. I think that's the main thing because I'm still on the fence on where I want to put my desk, if I want to do it here or if I want to just make a counter transition into a desk over here and make it stick out bigger. No, I actually paid $27 for this yesterday. And they only give you like a year subscription option or a lifetime subscription. I was like, yesterday when I bought it, I was like, I was looking for a monthly subscription because I was like, I only need it for, you know, the month or whatever. Or not even, I just need it to do this a couple of times. So now I'm stuck with this for a year. That is a very small sink. I like it. It's a very small sink. So what I'm looking for right now are the cabinets. All of the cabinets. All right, so here's some curved cabinets. No, I own. Well, I don't own it, but I mean, like, I own my account, so I have access to designing any kind of van, I guess. But what the hell is this? Is this just like a mat? Just a mattress? All right, how big is this? All right, so these are all. My only complaint is that you can't shrink down the size of the items you put in here, and I wish you could. And I wish that it would give you the measurements on the items you put in here that you shrink down, or the new measurements, I mean. All right, there's one. Let me go back up. There's another one. At least I figured out how to control it with my actual mouse, so I don't have to use my laptop touchpad anymore. Yesterday was kind of a bitch in trying to put everything in a position. I figured out how to do it right. I gotta push these together just slightly. Oops. Go this way. And then back one. There we go. No, but believe it or not, this is actually really helping me take what I have in my brain and putting it in an exact template of my van and able to kind of gauge where I want to put everything and how much space I have. Maybe I might have space for something else. And I guess because some of the items in here are exaggerated in size, like in my van, I'm not doing counters this high. They're going to be about mid level, about right here. So some things are exaggerated. It's not going to be perfect, but all right. And then I wanted to do like a curved counter over here. Get a bird's eye view of this. There we go. That looks good. So this is kind of the idea that I had. Oh yeah, it's definitely working a lot better. I think because I had I forgot I had some windows open for all my job applications and stuff, and there was like a lot of them, and I think that's what was really slowing down everything yesterday. And I was making this run like shit. But I don't know if y'all go look at my community post later. I posted some pictures. I was able to clean up the insulation that I did yesterday, and then leveled everything off. I cut out all of the spray foam that was sticking up, and I got everything prepped and ready to start doing the floors whenever it's fucking done raining. This rain has been like nonstop. How do I get rid of the? All right, so that's how you can turn the roof on. Okay, that's what I wanted yesterday. So now we figured out how to turn the roof on. Now what about the bulkhead? Yeah, I want to turn that off because I don't have a bulkhead in my van and I'm not going to. So it's just going to be open like this. But that looks pretty good. I like that cabinet design in my van, and gives you some extra space. Like I said, both of my front seats are going to be on swivels, so they'll be able to turn this way, and the driver's seat will be able to actually use this as like a table when you spin the seat around, and then you have room for your legs right here. Same thing on this side. Crashing other vans? No, I don't think so. And then, all right, so I got to add a sink in real quick. There we go. Hey, why does this sink keep like not wanting to go up here? There we go. All right, so I got that. Yeah, it's still raining. Everything is like super wet outside too, which really sucks. But I was able to dry out the inside of the van at least, so when it does stop raining, I'll be able to not get anything wet that I put in there. I mean, even if I got untreated wood, I still wouldn't trust it getting wet from outside. So, how big is this refrigerator? That's about the size of what I'm going to be getting. Remember, my inside the front of my van, my thing doesn't stick out that far. This is really a template of a Ford Ecoline, even though the back part of the van is exactly the same as my van. same specs and size. But the front is slightly different. Mine, I have way more space in between the center here. All right, so that's where my fridge is going to be. The bathroom is going to be under here. That pulls out, and there will be a portable toilet that comes out of there. Let's do Valentina's area real quick. Where's that cushion? There's like a cushion I found yesterday that was like perfect for simulating like a dog bed, kind of. There it is. All right, so this simulates where Valentina's bed's going to be, and it's going to be kind of under my bed. So we'll kind of place that there. Hers will be a lot bigger, so maybe I'll duplicate this, and then we'll slide it out to about right here. I'd say that will be the size of her bed. Is going to be like the largest dog bed that you can possibly buy. And then her food and water would go right here next to her. And I was planning on building her own like little cubby shelf area on top of the tire well, which will have her bones, her toys, and everything in an open basket that she can grab whatever she wants. Oops. That looks pretty good. All right, now the biggest thing that I am unsure of, desk. We need to see Valentina on the bed. All right, let's see. Where's the thing I just clicked? It's still, all right, there it is. This is like a Great Dane. This dog's like twice her size. What the fuck? Their fucking ratio to whatever in the sim is crazy. There you go. We'll pretend that's Valentina. Or she could be up here on my bed. It doesn't matter. All right, desk. They only have two options to go with, but I will say that one of the options is very similar to the Walmart desk, except the Walmart desk doesn't have legs on the other side. It's just another thing for cabinets. So I was thinking about going with the Walmart desk just for size. I think that it would fit very well, and I can refurbish it. Even though it's brand new, I can make it look a lot nicer. Obviously, the legs aren't going to go through to the tires. There is no legs. I would just saw down to where they need to fit over the tire well thing. And the bottom shelf is what I was talking about, being open to put like her dog treats and bones and toys and stuff in there. So on this side, you have the double doors, and the second door would open up into where the desk is. Let me slide this desk slightly down, make it more realistic. Let's say about right there. The bed really should be over just a little bit more like this, because there's going to be some space back here for storage. All right, so we got our desk in there. Now what I need to do is find the computer. What is this? Power station. Oh, okay. I just have like some of the most random stuff in here to add in. Like for a simulator, it's a bit much. See, if I had a van that you could stand up in, I would be able to do cabinetry like this right here with the upper cabinets and bigger seats or whatever, or sinks with the. So when eventually, whenever I do add the roof topper onto my van in the future, I'll be able to add in like upper cabinets and get a lot more storage space. All right, here's a laptop. Let me zoom in. Oop, other way. So I'm gonna put the laptop here because I'm gonna have a laptop with a monitor. So then what I'd like to do, let's go with, here's the TV mount. So this is just simulating where the TV mount's going to be, or the computer monitor mount, to where essentially, you would have a TV on the mount, not this big. They don't have a TV that's small enough to simulate it really, but that just shows where the placement is, and then it pulls out, and you can obviously turn it towards the bed or use it at the computers at the desk area. All right, so let's go to chairs. I can't believe that, but like who's going to put a wheelchair in here? I guess to simulate if you're handicapped, maybe. Oops. There we go. You got it right. All right, so now I need to add in my stove. Go back to this side. So this is a real representation of like essentially how my van's could end up being placed and designed with the floor plan and everything that I'm putting in it. Essentially, it's a very small studio apartment, is what it comes out to be. We haven't even gotten to the roof yet with the exhaust fan and the solar and all that stuff. Oh, I would like to figure out how to do a bike rack somewhere. I don't know if I could do one mounted to. I'm sure that they sell bike racks that mount to the back double doors of these vans. They have to. Van life taken off for so many years now. You would think that they would have, like a door bike rack or something. Because I would really like to get a nice e-bike or whatever. So if I'm at a camp spot that's like super close to like a small town or something, and I don't feel like, leaving camp with my van, so I don't want to give up my camp spot, but it's close enough to take an e-bike to. I want to have like a second set of transportation, I guess you could say. That's definitely something that I would like to consider. All right, so here's a countertop stove. This simulates the propane stove that I'm going to have. So let's turn it around here. There we go. That looks good. And that now the stove that I have isn't permanent. It's gonna fold up and go in the cabinets down below by the sink, which gives me counter space to be able to, cook or whatever. I'm also gonna do like a lagoon table or some kind of pull-out drawer that turns into a table. So it'll either just be a drawer that slides out and it's like got a built-in cutting board to it, or if there's room once I put the bed in there, on the edge, I'd like to have a post that you can slide in with a lagoon table that swings out, and then that gives you extra storage space for when you're cooking. But we'll see. It really just depends on. All right, let's go through here. What is this? Rear window, sliding window. God damn, that is a massive sliding window. What's this? That's a person. All right. Bro, they even have rugs. Their floor and wall graphics are terrible, but they got rugs, so we can make it look nicer. Look. You can throw a rug in here. Look how much nicer it looks with a rug. Look at that. So yeah, a nice throw rug makes everything look nice. All right. What else we got in here? They have like the most random. You guys think we could fit a shower inside the van? Can we fit a shower in my van? Is the question. Can we do it? Where is the shower I just selected? Can we fit? Wait, hold on. We got to put the roof on. Ah, damn it. It's not going to work. That stinks. All right. That's all right. No, but I will have a shower. When you open the back doors, there's going to be a built-in compartment next to the water pump and the water tank right there. And they on Amazon they actually sell RV outdoor shower stations where it's got like a normal shower head on a hose, and if you're like out in the middle of nowhere or whatever, you can take a shower. If you just came back from hiking or doing whatever activities you did, you can clean off. I have a feeling I'll probably end up using that more for Valentina because I'm going to be giving her like regular baths because we're going to be in a confined space with each other. But it will be nice to have that. So I will have a place that I could throw in a pair of swimming trunks and go outside and take a shower, if I needed to. But I'm going to have a Planet Fitness gym membership to where I can, go take showers there whenever I want. I will have a bathroom though. I will have a toilet, which I'm like, even though I'll have a toilet, like I'm still going to try and use like public places, obviously, as much as I can. Like if I go pump gas somewhere, I'll try and go there if I can to limit the amount of times I have to use mine. That's what everybody does. All right, let's see what else do we have in here. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see like how an upper cabinet would fit in here above the sink area. Technically, I could put cabinets in this van. Let's put the roof back on real quick. It looks like it would fit. I mean, but the question then is how much of the counter over the counter do I lose? That's why it's hard to put upper cabinets in these type of vans. But I could technically do this, but put it maybe all the way down here. Maybe down by the bed. I could do an upper cabinet down by the bed area to put my clothes in and stuff like that. And then do the hammock upper cabinets along the top of the bed for smaller items. So I could probably end up doing like one cabinet on each side, maybe, or all right, yeah, that's so I wanted to put the exhaust fan. All right, here's a Max Air roof vent. Let's put the roof on for a second here. That's about where it would be. There's still like a slight space. There we go. All right, I think I got it perfect now. So that's about how far it would pop up. I think, anyways. I don't know. This thing's like, oh, that was about right. And then I'd like to do another one. So we'll duplicate it and then we'll move it. Oop, wrong way. Move it towards the front, and then it's going to simulate where the air conditioning unit's going to be, because the 12-volt air conditioning roof unit is about the same size as these Max Air exhaust fans. So I'm going to be putting the AC unit in the front of the van. Okay. And then solar. Oops. So 100, we got a 100-watt panel and 160-watt panels. I'm starting out with two 100-watt panels. All right, how do I get this damn thing on the roof? Like, how do we get it up here? Hey. All right, let's just put it there and then I'll move it with this. So I am just going with two of these. Slide that one over. Actually, you know what? I might be able to fit 3. Let's find out, because these are the same exact size in to the template of my band. These 100-watt panels are exactly what they would be in real life in dimension. Oop, wrong way. Let's see if I could do 3 across. Okay, let's duplicate one more. All right, so I think I would have room. I just got to move this one over. Oh, wrong way. Got to move that one over. That one should be good. Over one. Got one sticking out up here. There we go. That's why it looked uneven. So that looks pretty good. So I totally could fit 3 100-watt solar panels on the roof if I run them exactly like this. No, the driver's side door does. Neither door opens. All right, let's go back here. Let's see how big a bike is compared to the size of the van. Wherever it is, it'll show up. There it is. Yeah, see, if I did like a roof rack bike mount on top of the roof where it, look how high it sticks up, it would be a clearance issue, I think. So I would have to see if I could find, like, on Amazon maybe some mounts for the back doors to have it go across. I'm sure they have them. All right. What the hell is this? Bunting flags? Why? Why is that even in here? Look, I could put a nice cup of coffee on. They think of everything in the simulator except for like the things that actually matter. Look, I even got a cup of coffee on my desk. These just are like spices, I'm assuming. Glass containers for like spices, probably. So I think like instead of doing the upper cabinets, I like the open shelf idea better. You know those little mini shelves that attach to the wall, and like usually people put like candles in them, pictures, picture frames or whatever, decoration, statues and stuff like that. I'd like to do a couple of those by the bed for, you know, to charge your phone, um, put stuff like that on it, and then in the kitchen area maybe do one for like your spices and cooking stuff. There was I did like the knife thing that they had in here. It was up here maybe. I use like these kind of shelves right here. These. Yeah, and then you just put some stuff on them. They take way less space up than these over cabinet things. Well, not exactly. So I've seen shelves like this before where it has like a lip on the front of it to keep things from sliding off, but I was just going to do like Velcro, like get round circular Velcro peel and stick things for the bottoms of my jars and just Velcro them into the bottom of the shelf. And I was also going to do the same thing for stuff on my desk and in the desk. Like basically anything that can move that I don't want to move, I will just, it'll be Velcroed in. And then when you go to use it, it's super easy to get to. And, you know, you just put it back and then that's it. So I was thinking about doing Velcro and then also like a magnetic knife set that I can hang over the kitchen as well, like this. Would definitely work. See, something like that would be perfect. Those magnetic knife holder things are actually very strong. They're not going to fall off. And also, too, I'm not driving crazy or anything. The only thing I could say that would be a challenge is when I'm going off roading to a camping spot. I'd say that would be the real adversity. But other than that, I mean, you guys like my little plant? Look at my little plant hanging right there. That's actually pretty cool. I gotta find me one of those on Amazon. Actually, I thought about that. I was like, when I end up putting my window in on the side over there, in front of it, I'd like to do like some cool wall mounted plant holders like this and do plants like basil, oregano, like stuff that I could actually use to cook with, like fresh stuff, and it would get sunlight all the time. So I did think about doing that, and it would add a lot of, you know, pretty green colors into the van, and it would be natural. So that's actually a accurate representation of something that I would put in there. See, so not everything they have here is just totally random. Yeah, exactly, Corey. Like that's what I was thinking. Like anything you don't want to move that could move, you just Velcro it. And they actually have like very thin Velcro now to where you don't even notice that it is Velcroed when it's sitting there. Like just all you need is just like a very thin layer and you're good to go. What is this? Lagoon. Oh, that's a Lagoon table mount. So like for example, this counter space right here, this oven would be just a fold up propane oven or stove. I mean, not oven, stove. And it would just fold up and go underneath. And then I would have the same thing with a conventional oven slash air fryer that would do the same thing. And I more than likely would store it on like one of these shelves up front here. And then when I need to use it, now depending on how big the shelves are up here, because I am really going to try and do the curved shelf into the front area, I might be able to fit a conventional air fryer slash oven here and then just hardwire it in right here. It just depends on how big the shelf is. But if not, I could definitely store it there and then I can, take it out, use it on the counter and then put it back. Oops. What is this? Sofa pullout? Huh. Oh yeah, and then one of these. I couldn't figure out how to get it to the back of the van yesterday. Every time I try and place it over here, it just didn't want to stay. But one of those um, tow shelf things, whatever it's called, what do they call it? Cargo carrier basket that goes right into your tow hitch. I'm definitely going to end up doing one of those, but I'm planning on buying one of those once I'm already living in the van because that's something I can wait to get. But once I have one of those, I'm actually going to do half of it a storage box, like one of those cargo freight, harbor freight, all weather cargo boxes, and anchor it into the platform. And then on the other side of it, I was going to do a 5 gallon tank for regular gas for just extra gas in case I got stranded somewhere without gas, and then a 5 gallon container for diesel fuel. And then that way I can keep all that out of the van. And I'm also gonna have a little generator, so which that generator would be stored in the cargo box in case I needed emergency power sometime. Solar isn't cutting it or something, and then I have a gas powered generator. When you're going to do something like this, you got a lot on the line and there's a lot of risks. So you got to kind of have like backup plans, the backup plans. One of my backup plans is if it like rained like it has been the last 3 days, no sunlight, I could always turn my van on and charge my batteries in the back with the alternator. Or if I want to spend less fuel than running my van, I could have a gas power generator and then hook that up to the batteries and use that to charge the batteries. So there's going to be 3 different ways that I can actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. There's going to be 4 different ways I can charge my batteries in the back of the van, which, like I just said, gas power generator, van alternator, shore power, which would come out of the side of the van, so I could go pay $30 or $40 for a campsite for the night, plug my van in. Or in my case, I got permission to do it at my job. So while I'm working every day, I can plug my van in while I'm at work and charge my batteries up every day. And I'm going to have enough battery power in the back to run all of my electronics in the van for up to 2 to 3 days without a single charge. So I should be pretty good on power. I got multiple ways I can charge my batteries. And the biggest thing is when you go like wild camping and you're planning on going off grid for like, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks or whatever, that's kind of when you run into those type of issues. But I don't see like, a lot of the solar panels that they have out there now still accumulate power. Even they'll still get about 60% sunlight even with it being cloudy out, which is pretty cool. This is a wood fire stove. Hold on. That's what it would look like with a wood fire stove. That's not even the smallest one. That's still a relatively big one. They have very small ones. What size is this one? It's the same size. Let me see if they have diesel heaters. Nope, no diesel heaters. A diesel heater though is going to be about the same size, if probably smaller than this generator inverter in the back right here. This thing, and it kind of looks like a diesel heater, or the Chinese ones, anyways. Oh, is this a hammock chair? This is pretty cool. It's like a hammock chair. And you can hang it from the ceiling. This is pretty cool. Look at this. I mean, that's pretty cool. And so that kind of just gave me a kind of a cool idea here. So like, say hypothetically, let me push it forward. Say hypothetically I'm out camping somewhere and I just want to like chill and read a book, but I want to like stay in the van where I have my bug screen netting over the doors that are open, or like, in front where the doors are. Because I'm gonna have like a bug screen so I can leave my doors open. But I want to like be in a hammock type thing like this. I could install, because they sell these on Amazon. They wouldn't have it in here if they didn't have them. I could install the mounting bracket into my ceiling, and then you could just store the hammock in the back, and then when you want to use it, you just take it out and hook it into your where you would mount it up here in the ceiling. That would be a pretty cool idea, and then you can literally have like a hammock chair with your doors open, overlooking wherever you're parked at. That would be pretty cool. See, the $27 I spent for the year for this thing just gave me a new idea. Something I didn't think about that I would totally love to have. That is the best $27 ever. I'm sure you could also attach it to like, a tree outside or something too. Because I've seen other campers on their channels, they have like these really cool hammocks that you just find a couple of trees that are close together and it hooks up. And some of them have like bug netting. You kind of get into it like a cocoon type thing. And then there's just like normal hammocks. Those are always pretty cool. Oh, here's a spice rack. This is more of what I was looking for, not those jars that I found. That's pretty cool. I'll zoom in. Oops, wrong way. I like it. Put the roof back on. Oh yeah, there you go. Now you can see where the doors are. You can see where the doors would open. Very cool. All right, I'm going to save this template. Because what I could do is, I notice when I'm live on StreamYard, and I try and do anything like the 3D video or anything like trying to get measurements, it really has issues because of the lagging. So what I could do is when I end the stream, I can go back into here, click on the saved file I just put in, and it will give me all of the actual measurements and specs of how I have everything set up in this van, which is exactly the same type of template as to what I have. So it will give me like, if I wanted these exact cabinets, right? It'll give me the exact specs and measurements and then where to put them on the floor plan of my van. And since they use actual items that they sell out there, they'll tell me exactly what kind of Dometic cooler this is down to the model number. So I know, okay, I need to order this one because this is the size that fits really well in between my seats. That's what's really cool about this. There's some, the Air Max Pro is another one of those items that's in here. They'll give you the model number to order that. It's definitely more than a simulator. This is literally a blueprint designer to create a van. Honestly, like I thought about doing this on one of those box trucks or a school bus just to see what I could come up with for, something that I would maybe have in the future. Maybe in a year from now when I upgrade from my current van. maybe I'll do a box truck or a school bus or something. So that's pretty cool. You can design any template that they have. So, all right, that about wraps this up. I'm gonna go check the weather. It did just stop raining out, but I need to check and make sure it's not going to start raining again in an hour or 2 hours. I definitely don't want to. I don't want to get that untreated wood wet. Otherwise, I'll be buying new wood. But yeah, that came out pretty good. So I definitely like this design. Let me get rid of the roof real quick. This floor plan seems to be the best one that I've come up with for me. Still having a whole station for like an office, you know. Instead of trying to do like this as the countertops over here and making it into a desk, then you got to move stuff to use it as a desk. You got to like, I don't know. It just seems like it would be more of a hassle. But I'll see you all on the next one.